Welcome! This is Like It's 1985, and today I'm going to show you the Walmart exclusive Ultimate Transformers Blu-ray gift set. And this set does come with 3 discs. One, of course, is the Blu-ray, the other one is the DVD disc, and the final one is the Special Features Blu-ray. Now, the Special Features Blu-ray actually is quite substantial. I actually watched the entire content, and it was about an hour and a half long. So just the special features alone are an hour and a half long. So pretty impressive special features content. So along with the discs, of course, you can see you get 3 figures here: Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Stinger. Now, looking at the figures just casually, they seem to not have articulation. We'll take a closer look in a minute here, but just to set your expectations, I don't think there is any articulation on these figures. And the set does also come with a magnet, and it gives you a little bit of a preview window here, looking at the magnet in the back, which is kind of cool in terms of packaging. Here's kind of a montage of different scenes from the movie. So pretty cool. And in addition also to the actual, hard copy discs, you also get the digital HD as well. Alright, so let me go ahead and open this up. I've already taken the liberty of opening it before. It does come shrink wrapped and everything. So here are the figures. Here's the magnets, and finally the actual disc set here. So pretty cool. I like this picture of Optimus Prime. You can see it's got a raised surface to the cover, so it's not flat. It actually has some depth to it. It's pretty cool. You can kind of make that out in the light there. So it's not just a flat surface, it's actually got some depth to it. So that's the sleeve, and then of course here is the case for the 3 discs. But let me go ahead and go into what you probably want to see first, which are the magnet and the figures. Now, the magnet itself is really, really nice, and I can tell just by feeling it that it's actually made of metal. And it's actually glued in place. I had some trouble getting it out first, but I realized it was glued in place, so once you get it unglued, you can take a close look at it. And it's substantial. It's metal. There's the magnet backing, or actually I think the magnet's probably inside, but very, very nice. I do like that look, and it's really substantial. Here's your typical, cheap magnet that can go on a refrigerator. It's made of kind of rubber on one side and the magnet on the back. This thing here it's got some heft to it and some weight to it, and it looks really, really cool. So that is awesome. So with that said, let me go ahead and take the figures out here. And I will start with Bumblebee here. Take a look at him. So here is Bumblebee, and yes, I was correct. There is no articulation, but you can see there's nice detail, nice paint on there. So at least there's that. Now these figures are, I would say, maybe like 2, maybe 2.5 inches tall. So pretty short. I don't have anything as a good size comparison right away, but well, here's your standard Blu-ray case. Here is the figure, just to give you a sense of scale. So that's Bumblebee. Looks good. And Stinger, which is looking really cool as well. Again, lots of nice detail. It seems, yeah, it's got the same sculpting detail, at least on the back. So Stinger's like the cliff jumper of Age of Extinction. So you can see them side by side. Alright, and then let me bring out Optimus Prime. So Optimus Prime, you can see, is just a bit taller than a Bumblebee, and he also has a nice sculpting detail, nice paint. Again, no articulation at all for any of these 3 figures, but they're nice nonetheless as, display pieces on your desk. So again, just a comparison with the Blu-ray case. Alright, so setting the figures here in the background, let me talk about the special features Blu-ray. Or I can show you actually inside here what it looks like. You got the cover there, and then you can see there on the background here is Optimus Prime on Grimlock. You can see there. So let me talk about the Special Features Blu-ray. As I mentioned before, lots and lots of content. Sorry. So let me go through the different things that are in that. I kind of have some notes here, so if I sound like I'm reading, it's because I kind of am. So they have basically, on the Special Features Blu-ray, they have one section called Evolution of Extinction, which is going into just generally background. Michael Bay talking about how Transformers 4, it's not a reboot, it's a continuation of the Transformers movie line with different characters. So we kind of knew that already. Then there's also some actually there's Evolution of Extinction, which is broken up into several different sections. The first section being Generation 2, which I just talked about with just kind of the fact that Transformers 4 is not a reboot. Then the second subsection is Drive Like Hell, and that details all of the nice vehicles that were in the movie. And if you're a sports car fan, you probably made note of the fact that there's a lot of nice sports cars featured in this movie. So Transformers and sports cars, in my book, you can't go wrong. One interesting thing is they talk about how Drift, the color scheme for the car, was supposed to be the orange and black color scheme, but due to the fact that car was not available for filming, they went with the blue and black Bugatti Veyron that we see in the movie. So I found that interesting. Apparently the concept was it would be or started out to be a black and orange car, but then they had to scrap that because the car was not available, and they had to use the blue and black car. So then the third little subsection is Small Town, Big Movie. They talk about scouting the film locations. They talk about the farmhouse that actually is outside of Austin, Texas. And talk about how they as far as the props, furnishing the barn we see there in the beginning of the movie. The fourth subsection is called Shadow Protocol Activated. Again, it has to do with film locations, and it talks about how they use the Michigan Auto Industry Proving Grounds to basically, there's a section of test track that looks like a freeway, and that's where they can shoot their freeway crashes and so forth that are featured in the movie. So that's pretty cool. They also talk about the spaceship that we see, Lockdown's ship, how they actually, even though the ship in the film appeared massive, the actual set pieces they used to create the walls and so forth were actually reused in different combinations to kind of create the illusion of this large ship, when in actuality they were just shooting a limited amount of backdrops and rearranging them differently for different scenes. So that was pretty cool. They also talk about how they filmed in Chicago. Parts of Chicago were transformed to look like they were actually shooting in Hong Kong. So they had to cover up all the street signs, that would normally be there, so that they didn't give away in the movie the fact that they were actually shooting in Chicago, not Hong Kong. The next section that talks about the People's Republic, and there was a whole section dedicated just to talking about how they were filming in China, and they talk about the apartment chase. Apparently, the apartment was about 18 stories high, is where they were filming the chase scene towards the end of the movie. So pretty cool there. And they talk about the Wulong Three Natural Bridges Valley, which is the scene where Optimus Prime basically tames Grimlock and they leads him into battle towards the end of the movie. And then they talk about this other feature in this Special Features Blu-ray is the Rise of the Dinobots. And the one thing they talked about there that really intrigued me was they decided to basically color the Dinobots different colors in the movie so that they could tell, or the audience could tell, the difference between the different characters, which, I don't know, I guess when you think about it, it doesn't really make sense, because obviously the Dinobots were were definitely distinct. You know, you had the pterodactyl type, you had the T-Rex type, and you had like the Triceratops and so forth, and the Spinosaurus. So there wasn't really, I don't think, a need to color them, but they say that's the reason why they're colored, and I guess that carries over to the actual toys, why they're colored the way they are. So that was kind of interesting little section there. Then the final section of this evolution of Extinction is called The Finishing Touch, and they go into how Michael Bay edits the film, how they do voiceovers, music, and sound effects, and they show Michael Bay at his home in Miami, who's teleconferencing over into some of his staff in Los Angeles, and they're exchanging, you know, raw footage, and, you know, over this really fast internet connection. It was kind of cool how they can collaborate on opposite ends of the United States to actually edit the film. There's a section on Peter Cullen and how he basically says his characterization, his voice characterization of Optimus Prime was based on his brother, who was a Marine. So that's how he kind of determined how his voice acting would portray Optimus Prime. Then there's two more sections other than Evolution of Extinction that go into kind of random stuff. It's one's called Just Another Effin' Movie. There's kind of outtakes of different things that happen, you know, bloopers and so forth, and you see Michael Bay's mom, and she kind of talks about his filming, and that was okay. And then the final bit of special features is the T.J. Miller Farm Hippie. He goes around, and it's kind of like it's basically he goes to Mark Wahlberg's house, Michael Bay's house, and he talks with Kelsey Grammer and kind of does this like spoof interview kind of thing. That wasn't that great, but it's on there. So just in terms of raw hours, I mean, it was an hour and a half or so of just the special features. So it is quite substantial. So I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, so this has been a look at the Walmart exclusive Age of Extinction gift set. I bought it for about $24. I think a normal DVD costs about $19 or $20, or not DVD, normal Blu-ray without any extra stuff on it would be probably about $19 or $20. So, I don't know, I kind of feel like I got my money's worth with the Special Features Blu-ray, the 3 figures, and then the awesome magnet. So, pretty cool. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and gals later.